real, concise, effective and beneficial programming tips. Okay, so today we are going to learn about stub, mock and fake in unit testing. So I know most of you worked on unit testing. Okay, so maybe you are familiar with stub, mock and fake. Okay, so as you can see in this slide, these are the words that used commonly in the unit testing, test driven development. Okay, so as you know, in the test driven development market, there are many testing framework. It may be MS test, it may be N unit, it may be X unit, etc. Okay, so in this video tutorials we will learn about stub, fake, mock, dummy, spice and test double. Okay, so main things in this black circle is stub, fake and mock, right? So these are three main things: stub, make, stub, fake and mock. Okay, and here are dummy as well. So we will learn one by one practically. Okay, so let's learn stub thing. Okay, so in this slide you can see what is stub and stub provider. Okay, so you can see here in the definition, a stub you have already written with the predetermined behavior. Okay, so you would have a class that implements the dependency. It may be abstract class, it may be interface. Most likely you are faking for testing purpose, and the method you just be stubbed out with the set of responses. They would not do anything fancy, and you would have already written the stub code for it outside of your real object. Okay, so this is the definition of stub. Okay, so here one more thing, abstract class or interface that we will be implementing in order to stub class or method is known as stub provider. Okay, so will be called stub provider. So if you want to summarize it, then you can say stub provide canned answer to call made during the test, usually not responding at all to anything outside what programmed in for the test. Okay, so this is the definition of stub and stub providers. So I don't know whether it is making you clear what is stub or stub provider. So if not, if this definition is not making clear you what is stub and stub provider, so don't worry, we will learn practically what is stub and stub provider. So to learn practically, let's jump into the Visual Studio so that you can learn it practically. Okay, so let's jump into the Visual Studio. So here you can see here business layer, data access layer. I'm testing here my XUnit test project. Okay, it has only employee service test. You can see this is the class, test class. If you have worked on an XUnit testing, so you will aware of fact. Okay, so if you got chance to work on X unit, then that is fine. So in that case you know about fact. If you didn't get chance to work on X unit, then don't worry, I have created one tutorial on X unit, so you can go back to my YouTube channel, you can see that video. Okay, so here you can see I'm just writing few tests. Okay, so here we are to know what is stub and stub provider. Okay, so in order to understand what is stub and stub provider, I have to show you something. Okay, so you can see here I created two layer, business layer and data access layer, very simple. Okay, so you can see in the data access layer there is only one employee repository having some method. You can see here employee, get employee, employee name, salary, create employee, update and delete. So this is the interface of employee repository, and I am implementing that interface into the employee repository class. So for now, forget all other classes, just keep focus on employee repository and employee repository. Okay, and let's go into the business layer. Here we have one interface, that is employee services, having few methods. You can see here find employee name, find employee salary, add employee, edit employee and remove employee, and forget all other classes in the business layer for now. Okay, so this is the simple business layer and data access layer having employee repository and employee service. Okay, so I'm going to test it. A business layer employee service and data access layer repository service. Okay, so the question is why we are here and what is stub and stub provider. So let me try to clear it. What is stub? Okay, so as you guys know, in order to test we have to follow at least three things, that is rule of unit testing, that is AAA. What is mean of AAA? AAA means arrange, act and assert. Okay, so here you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just creating employee repository object, an employee service, constructor, accept two parameter. First is employee repository type and second is employee service type. Okay, so it may be getting more lengthy, but keep patience and try to listen what I'm saying. It is necessary in order to understand what is a stub and stub provider. Okay, so this is the simple way to write unit test case. Okay, so here you can see just I'm calling a find employee methods. I'm passing the ID of the employee and getting name of the employee, and I'm just asserting here. So this is the complete unit testing. Okay, so this way you can write unit testing. Okay, so in the programming market there are two type of tester, test driven development person. Okay, one is classical type and one is mockist. Mockist use only mock object in order to write the unit test cases, and classical TDR use real object to write unit test cases. It doesn't matter at that much a classical TDR using real object or fake object, but most of the time classical TDR use real object. Okay, so in the real object we cannot understand what is stub and stub provider, or you can say stub or stub provider will not come into picture when we write unit test in classical TDR manner with the real object. Okay, it is not hard and fast rule that classical TDR will write a unit test case with the real object, but he or she can write a unit test case with the fake object as well, but it is not hard and fast rule. But most of the time classical TDR use real object. So in this case stub and stub provider will not come into the picture. Okay, but it may come, so I will show you. So you can see here second unit test cases. Here I am just using fake repository and fake email and fake employee service. So what are these? Let me show you. Here let's go into the business layer. Here you can say this is the fake employee service. And what is fake employee service? Fake employee service is nothing, just a fake class, okay, and I am just inheriting employee service interface here, and I am just implementing that interface with the different body. Means I am just setting our expectation inside the method body. See here, here is the method find employee name, and I am just hard coding the value with Dinesh Kushwaha. Okay, so here you can say I am just this method has been stubbed with the predefined expectation, or you can say predefined expectation. Okay, so this method has been stubbed with predefined expectation. What is predefined expectation? Predefined expectation is whenever we will call find employee name, that this will return Dinesh Kushwaha. So Dinesh Kushwaha is final expectation of this method. Okay, so here is we can say this is stub method. Okay, find employee is stubbed method. Okay, so this is stubbed method. We can say find employee is stubbed method, and fake employee service is stubbed class. So does it make sense to you guys? Stub method and stub class. So I think now it is clear what is stub. Stub may be class, may be method. Okay, so stub is something that can be predefined. Means we have already set our expectation. When we will call this method or this class, then what will be the behavior, this has been fixed. Okay, so here this is stubbed. You can see here clearly this is stubbed. This is stubbed, and this point you can say this is stubbed method. Okay, and similarly this is apply for all method. Okay, if if this method is set by expectation, predefined expectation, then we can say this method has been stubbed, and this is stub method. Okay, so I hope you will be able to understand what is stub method and what is stub class. Fake employee service is the stubbed class, and find employee name is stubbed method. Similarly with the find employee salary and etc. So and here you can see one more thing. This is employee service is stubbed provider. Employee service is stubbed provider. Okay, and fake employee is stubbed class. Okay, so fake employee is stubbed class, and here you can say find employee is stubbed method, and employee service is stubbed provider. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you guys. Okay, so let's come back to our presentation so that we can learn more about some other thing. Okay, so let me go to the next slide. So see, so Now let's we have learned about stub and stub provider, and now we will learn about fake and fake provider. Okay, so I think one more thing that I would like to show you guys. There is two way to stub classes and method. Okay, one way is by using mock framework, and one way is by using by creating fake classes or fake object. So I have showed you how to create the stubbed method and stubbed class by creating fake object. So let me show you how we can stub the method by using mock object. Okay, so in order to that, let me go to the this test driven development, I mean unit testing fact, and here you can see I'm just setting out here I'm just mocking the interface, and here I'm setting the expectation. Okay, so let me show you. Here you can say I'm stubbing this method. You can see here I'm stubbing this method, because mock employee service is the mock object. You can see here mock employee service is the mock object, and I'm just using setup method of the mocking framework, and I'm just mocking this method find employee name. Okay, I'm just setting expectation here. You can see I'm just setting expectation here with the name Ramesh Kuswa. Okay, so here we can say set up this thing, and setting expectation here is stubbing. Okay, so you can say I'm just stubbing find employee name. So here is find employee is the stubbed method. Okay, so I'm just stub. So you can say this line of code is stub. Okay, and find employee name is stubbed method, and Ramesh Kuswa is the expectation. Okay, so I'm just so there are two way to stub method. Okay, and class as well. One is by creating fake object or fake classes, and second thing by using mock object and setup method of mock objects. Okay, so there are two things. So I think it is more clear to you guys. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation. Okay, so let's move to our next slide, and we can understand other things as well. So here are fake and fake provider. So it is very close to stop provider. Fake provider is very close to stop provider, but there is a minor difference. So let's first understand what is definition of fake and fake provider, then we will understand it practically in the Visual Studio. So fake objects actually have working implementation of abstract class or interface, most likely, but usually takes some shortcut which make them not suitable for production. Okay, so here abstract class and interface most likely are called fake provider. Okay, so let me modify this slide bit. Actually this is should not be here, so let me, sorry for that, but it should not be here. Okay, so now this is fine. No, this is fine. Okay. So fake object, as written in this slide, fake object actually have working implementation of abstract class or interface most likely, but usually take some shortcut which make them not suitable for production. Okay. So let's go back to the Visual Studio and let me show you what is fake and fake provider. Okay. So here we are, and here our fake employee service. Okay, so you can see here what I'm doing here. The concurrent implementation of I employee service is here. You can see here employee service and I employee services. So my real object is here employee service, implementing employee services, and you can see here all real method are here. Okay, so in the fake employee service, what I'm doing in the fake employee service, I'm using I employee service interface in order to stub this fake employee service. Okay, so here fake employee service is fake object, you can say fake class or fake object. Okay, so does it make sense? Fake employee service is a fake class, you can say fake class. When you will create object of fake employee service by using new keyword, then you can say fake employee service object. Okay, so I think it is more clear, you guys. This is the fake class. Okay, fake employee service is the fake class, and here I employee service is the fake provider. Does it make sense? Fake employee service is fake class and I employee service is fake provider. Okay, clear now? Okay, good. Let move toward next slide and let's try to learn mock and mock provider. What is mock and mock provider? So let's try to understand this definition. A mock object is something that as part of your test you have to set up with your expectations. Okay, and a mock is not set up in a predetermined way, so you have code that does it in your test. Mock in a way are determined at runtime, since the code that set the expectation has to run before they do anything. Okay, so what is mock? Mocking, you can say in a single line. If you want to say this thing in a single line, then you can say pre-program object is the mock. Simple. Mock is pre-programmed object with predefined expectation. Okay, so you can say mock is the pre-programmed or predetermined object with the expectation. Okay, which from a specification of the calls they are expected to receive, right? So here you can say abstract class or interface most likely are called mock provider. So I think you are thinking so many things, so let me clear it and let's jump into the Visual Studio and make it clear what is mock and mock provider. Similar thing you can see here in the test. You can see in the test you can see here we are mocking employee repository with the mock testing framework. Okay, in the market there are many testing. Let me show you. In the market there are many testing framework. Okay, so let me show you. It may be fake easy mock and fake you can search it out from internet. There are many mocking framework, but mock is very easy to implement and very easy to understand, so I just use that one. And you can see at the top of this class here you can say I'm just using mock. What is mock? Mock is a mocking framework. Okay, So I'm just using mocking framework and creating mock object of the of type iEmployee repository and iEmail service and iEmployee services. Okay, so I'm just creating the mock object. So how we can say it is pre-programmed object? Okay, because in the slide it is said that mock, or what we are talking about here, object are pre-programmed with expectation which from the specification of the calls they are expected to receive. So here you can see here are the mock object: mock employee repository, mock employee service, mock employee service, and mock employee service. Here we are mocking. Here we are stubbing method. Okay, and here we are setting our expectation. You can see here you can see here we are just setting. We are setting method find employee name, yeah, or you can say I'm just stubbing method find employee name with the expectation return this one. Okay, so this employee service mock is predefined. Okay, predefined, or you can say predetermined object, right? So when we will call this method find employee, this will not call actual method. This will bypass the actual method and call and will return this expectation. Okay, so let me make it more clear to you guys. So here we are mocking the interface, but in the below we are mocking concrete classes. Okay, you can see here I'm just marking employee repository, email services, okay, and employee services. There is no as such interface. Okay, so I will show you how this work, and since I'm saying this will find employee setup means since we are stubbing this method find employee name and setting expectation with the return methods as Ramesh Kushwaha. So since I'm saying this will bypass the actual method, then let me show how this would pass or bypass our actual method. Okay, so let's go to the employee service. Here is the employee service, and you can see here is our find employee name. So once I call that method, means I will call this unit test, or you can say I will debug this unit test case. Then this method of employee service will never call. Okay, why? Because we have already stubbed this method and we have already set expectation here. We have already set up this expectation. Okay, so this actual method will not call. So let me debug it and show you. So it will be more clear to you guys. It is taking couple of minutes. Now it is ready to debug. Okay, so let's see. Yes, debug point is here. So let's debug it, and let me show you this mock has been created for employee repository, and this mock is created for employee service, email service, and here we are setting up, or you can say I'm just stubbing method send email. Okay, and here we are creating mock of employee service, and here you can say I'm just stubbing find employee method, okay, with some expectation. Okay, so please keep closely see this one. This will let me do F11 and see. Let me press F11 again and see. This method will call this employee service, but let me press F11. It will not jump into the targeted method. Okay, so it should go into employee service get employee name method, but it will not come here because we have already stubbed this method with this expectation, so this will not go into the actual method body. Okay, and see that method has been bypassed. Okay, so you can see here our method has been passed. Okay, so here this mock employee repository is a class. Okay, so you can say this is mock object, this is mock object, this is mock object, and this is mock object. And so I think now it is clear what is mock object. So mock object is nothing. Mock object is a special kind of object, okay, that create an object with predefined behavior, okay, or you can say predefined expectation. Now it is clear. Does it make sense? Okay, good. So let's move into in next slide. Here two more things, dummy and spice. Okay, so I think you guys you guys are aware about dummy. What is dummy? So let me see this definition. Dummy objects are passed around but never actually used. Usually they are just used to fill parameter. Okay, so basically a dummy is nothing. You can create your own class with some parameter, okay, and you just passing it out from one method to another method. Okay, so dummy means dummy. It is not actual, something not actual, and but it will be used only for passing the parameter from one method to another method, or you can say from one class constructor to another class constructor. Okay, so these are the dummy dummy objects, you can say. So dummy object, you can also say yes. So I think it is very simple, and you can understand it very easily. Dummy is nothing. Dummy is a special kind of object that will be used just to fill parameter list. Okay, and let me go to the spices. So this is very tricky, so let me show you. Let me read out this definition, and I will go into Visual Studio to show you what is spice. So spice are stub. Okay, what is spice? Spice are stub that also record some information based on how they were called, and one form of this might be an email service that record how many messages it was sent. Okay, so simple things. Spices are also stubs. Okay, so let's go into the Visual Studio and let's try to understand practically what is spices. Okay, so we are here. Okay, so let's say I just want to capture how many time user try to fetch employee name. Okay, I just want to uh, I just want to uh, capture this, how many times system call find employee name method. Okay, so what I will do, I will create a mail service. You can see I just created a email service with, see, nothing inside this email service and mail method. Okay, so here email service having one method, send email. Okay, and you can see here in the employee service what I am doing, I am just putting employee. You can see I'm just here, I'm just writing employee service dot send email with the every method. Okay, in, you can see here in find employee name as well. So it will, what it will do, email service dot send email, what this will do, this will capture the request from user. Okay, so since we also stub, you can see, you can say we can also mock this email service. Okay, and we will set our expectation here as well. So what this method should be done, what this method would be doing. Okay, so we can set it from here. See, we are creating email service mock object and setting our send email method, and we can also set here our expectation. Okay, so in order to capture how many times this system calling find employee name. Okay, so this part is spice. You can say this part is spice. It is doing nothing. You can say it is doing nothing, but it is just is just capturing how many times this find employee method is being called. Okay, so this is known as spice. So I think this is clear now. So yeah, you can see here, let's go back to our presentation. So now I think we have covered all. One more thing, there is one more thing, test module, test double. Okay, so let me clear it. What is test double? Okay, so test double as the generic term for any kind of pretended object used in place of real object for testing purpose. Let me repeat once this line. Test double as the generic term for any kind of pretend object used in place of a real object for testing purpose. Okay, so fake object is a test double. Okay, mock object is a test double. So does it make sense? Is it clear? What is test double? Test double is a generic term for any kind of pretended object used in place of real object for testing purpose. Okay, so fake objects are test doubles. Okay, and mock objects are test doubles. Okay, so you can see here one more line here. The name comes from the notion of stunt double in movie. So you may be thinking why this is test double. So and from where this came. So you can see one of his aim means this test double words coined from movie stunt double. Okay, so what was the purpose of this word? One of his aim was to avoid using any name that was already widely used. Okay, so that's all. So I think each and every word that are being used in test driven development is covered, and I hope you guys understood these things now. Okay, so if you think this video is helpful for you, then please like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell icon so that you can get latest notification. So thank you so much. Keep watching Applied Programming Tips. Thanks. Bye.